Hey everybody, my little girl's literally sleeping on me right now. So if you guys have been watching my videos lately, you know that I'm on a real roller coaster of the sinking ship, and I know I keep making videos about it, but it was so vivid. Even now, like thinking about it, it was vivid. I chose to go back on the ship. I wasn't scared, but I knew it was sinking. Other people didn't even know it was sinking, and I was trying to get this narcissist out. But then in real life, my daughter woke me up. And I was thinking, wow, okay, so my dream was to have this cafe, right? Have music and all the food that I would want to eat. I don't know if y'all have checked out the menu, but I think it's a pretty good menu, but whatever. Everybody likes the food. It's like a smattering of everyday American foods, just without GMOs, basically. And some Italian and Mediterranean foods, too. And smoothies, and just whatever. Maybe too much. Maybe I should just have 3 things and sell it over and over again and have robots for employees. But anyways, the music thing never really got going. I have all the equipment, but I don't have people that just are willing to show up and play. So, although there's a guy who said he's going to bring people next Wednesday, which is funny because I don't know if I'm going to be open. But, anyway, are you going to interrupt another live video? That's my son. So, I am out of money, hardcore out of money, and I owe a lot of money to a lot of people, which happens to a lot of people when they go for their dream. And my dream about the ship sinking is more like a nightmare. And maybe this whole restaurant thing is like a nightmare. Really, it's not, on a day-to-day basis, showing up and working with my staff and greeting customers and developing the menu and managing all of it. Obviously, I haven't done the best job managing it, or else we wouldn't be, going, bankrupt, but, that's all been, a dream. I mean, yeah, there were some crappy employees, and there were some difficult moments, but it's definitely been good. I hated not being with my kids all the time, and so the last few days I've been bringing them with me, and that's good. But when I bring my kids with me, I have to pay more labor. And when I have to pay more labor, I need more sales to justify that. And like I said, we don't have that. I need $500 a day to stay open. We're making maybe $200 a day, even less this month. So it's really pathetic. You would think with 1,000 Facebook followers, I don't know, if everybody came once a month and spent $10, then I'd make $10,000 a month. So you would think that that would be enough, but that hasn't happened. So they're just kind of there and not shopping. And so $10,000 a month is what we need. $500 a day or $10,000 a month or whatever. But so I'm trying to figure out if we're going to close our doors. I know it's sudden, but it's literally I'm processed payroll last night, and I'm okay, I have to earn it today and tomorrow, and we just had another slow day today, and this payroll isn't even for this week, it's for last week, and my landlord came by today, and he's really cool, but he's don't you have the rest of the rent for this month, because next month's coming due, and I'm no, I haven't even paid all my taxes this month, and we put in everything we can, and there's still shit breaking, literally every month, at least one major appliance or thing breaks. This week, it was 2. It was 3, excuse me. Vent hood fan belt. Then the oven which I actually got a twofer. These really awesome guys, Chapman something, fixed both for half the price of one by these other scoundrel guys. So it worked out, but those broke. So that was an unexpected couple $100 as usual. And then like the freezer, one of my freezers, it's not my freezer, it's my landlord's, and the door is like rotted out and the plastic like keeps coming off and then like stuffing's coming out and I keep getting insulation all over me. There's not like, it's not getting in the food because the food's all sealed or whatever, but it's like obviously a bad situation because there's like insulation coming out. So it's still freezing, but so I just went to Lowe's today and maxed out my credit cards for a $350 chest freezer to replace that. And here I am going, should I close? It's like that much of a roller coaster. Like, should I bother buying more food? So, like, I listed it for sale today on Craigslist. Put a lot of stuff into it. It's worth at least $100,000. Like, just the physical assets alone are at least $75,000 individually. Like, if I took, and sold them all or whatever. And then we remodeled, and so the labor on that and everything. Goodness, you're passed out. Are you alive, little girl? Yep, she's alive. She's passed out. So, dream or nightmare. So it's like I had this dream that was like a nightmare, but it was based on reality. But then my daughter woke me up from that nightmare, and I could choose this reality. I could choose this. And I didn't I want it all. I want female empowerment. And I lost these twins, and I thought, I'm supposed to open this cafe. So maybe I was, but I don't know if I'm supposed to keep it. Because the dream, the dream. Does it mean I'm supposed to go back on the ship for the narcissist? Is it just what I am doing? Does it mean that I'm here trying to save a bunch of narcissists when really I could just wake up out of that nightmare and come into the reality of a beautiful baby girl and an intelligent, kind son? So, what's the nightmare and what's the dream? Which one? And it's like I said, going in there day to day, it's not a nightmare. But I am in a very dark place physically there in that location. Literally, there are people who are Satanists next door. Literally, wore a Satanist t-shirt yesterday with the 666 on it, and literally, had a pentagram upside down in their car. Took that down after I started, but then I guess he got even more his shirt. Seemed like an okay guy. Now I know which one it was that had the pentagram or whose car it was. But I mean, it's a tattoo shop. But anyway, I don't really fit in there, you know what I mean? And then they're, friends with the other people that have another place that they all, I'm literally in between two businesses, and they're all, related. Literally related. And they all know each other, and then they're friends with another business there. Where it was so basically, I'm right in the middle of that. And I knew that pretty soon after I rented it. And the rent is a good rate for that size, but it's a horrible rate for the location and the part of town it's in. They need to get real. If they just need to get real. If they want to actually get, somebody in there. So, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have been so blessed because, hi, somebody just logged on. I'm so blessed that my husband, through all of this, is so chill. He promised me over and over again that, like, even if it failed, he'd still love me. Even if we claimed bankruptcy, he'd still love me. And now I'm sitting here and we're considering trying to sell and or claim bankruptcy. And even claiming bankruptcy, we might actually still be able to stay in business. I don't know. There's options. Like Snapple claimed bankruptcy right after they opened. They opened and they like this big launch and then they claimed bankruptcy. I don't know if y'all know that about Snapple. They're still around today, but point being, I owe money that I cannot right now pay back, and I'm not going to assume that suddenly my sales are going to triple, double or triple, really triple for me to get anything out of it. And so they could increase because of beer and wine. That's true. But so I'm had the dream, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but I've been lucky. I've been really lucky that it won't be the end of the world if it fails, because my husband, I think he'll still love me, and my children. You know what I said to this girl right here? I said, I think we might have to close the restaurant forever. And she said, okay, Mommy, do you want to watch your favorite show? Like, she's like, doesn't matter, Mommy, because we've got each other, you know? So, it's a cool idea, my cafe. It could really work in a town where people gave a shit, you know? Where there wasn't chloramine and fluoride in the water. I don't know. The town, there's problems with Killeen, like, everything kind of revolves around the base, and then it's a very high crime city, apparently one of the most dangerous cities in Texas. Apparently murder is like a daily thing right now in this city. And so maybe I need to be there. Maybe I need to be going onto the sinking ship and saving the narcissist right in the middle of Satan's pit. Maybe that's where I'm supposed to be. And that's what I thought when I opened. But if the sales aren't there, you know. So I did decide, however, like I said in my thing last night when I was drinking wine, I did decide to do Bible study, which I should have done earlier. I didn't want to do it when we were open for business because I think that's tacky. I don't want to profit off of that. But I didn't, you know, I was just, anyway, so I did schedule a Bible study for tomorrow night. And I'm going to do it. And I want to try it for every Friday night, at least while I'm there until I get evicted or the government shuts me down. And do that. And study Torah, prophet, you know, portion. And that's on a Friday night right there where I'm at. That's a brave act. So I'll do that. And then leave when it's time to leave. So I do have another little bit of money that could come to me that I thought I was going to get, you know, a couple months ago that would have not had me in this position. And I could be bitter about it not coming yet. But no, not, because I need to get tried in the fire. I need to go through this. And the business needs to stand on its own 2 feet. And yeah, it's a little early at 2-3 months, but if that money came, it would just be gone. And now if the money comes, maybe I can get our finances straightened out first, and then I can buy a cabin in the woods and escape before the microchip gets forced on me or a vaccine. Like, I'm out of here. But I did have this feeling when I first opened the cafe that it would be some sort of an ark, some sort of a place of refuge for people during a hard time. And I am in a place where I see everyone that lives around there is in a hard time, and it's sad, but I can't be a place of refuge without the income to sustain it, so I'm just not going to probably be there much longer. So here I am, you know, I've had a lot of dreams, and I haven't killed myself yet over one of them. I wanted to go to New York University, Tisch School of the Arts, when I was in high school. I wanted that to be my college, and I got put on the wait list and didn't get in. I wanted to be on Broadway, never been to New York. I wanted to have a record deal. Went to Nashville a year ago. Nobody bought my album, literally nobody. I have failed a lot of things. I wanted to be married at 22 and done having babies by 30. Of course, I wouldn't have her. I wanted to be done having babies by 30, and look at this little angel. You know, so if this is my dream, but it's really a nightmare, and this is what wakes me up, I'm okay with that. So Father in heaven, I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that. As long as my family stays together, as long as my children are safe and my husband loves me, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with failing. It sucks. But, you know, most businesses do fail. And I still might not fail. I guess a miracle could happen. But we could just have a Bible study tomorrow night. I could literally close the doors tomorrow and then get ready and do this Bible study. And it could literally be the last time anyone for our Eden Cultures is there. Like, that could literally just be it. Because I am not going to schedule anybody next week if I know I can't pay them. And if I'm there with my kids and we get a lunch rush, I don't know if that's going to work, but that might end up happening next week. Literally, I might just end up being there because we have food and, you know, get some stuff out in July and earn enough money to pay this week's. So, if I had to sell, what could you recover? I have, like, so many assets. Like, it's not like I just spent money on nothing. I have so many assets. Like, and it's like, it says $55,000 in QuickBooks, but it's not counting anything that is individually valued under $300. So, like, this stainless steel French fry cutter isn't counted in there, and, like, all these little things, you know what I mean, that, like a blender and things that are part of a restaurant, or like kitchen tools, they aren't counted as assets. She made me count them as expenses when I went to the accountant. I don't really know why. And then all this to-go stuff, like, I have enough to-go stuff to probably last a year. And so if you count all of that, then my goodness, I mean, it's just, it should be worth, like, a bit. If I had to sell, I would like someone to pay me $120,000 because that's what the business is worth. But, and if someone had that, in like an account and they just paid it and then they had all this just ready to go, then it would be like legit. They would be set but see, I didn't have that. I didn't just have that money, all that, because that's about what we put in total. Like, because the personal loan isn't even on the books because it's a personal loan. So even though we have that, it's not on the books counted in that 65 plus the 105 and then all the random doodads or whatever that I bought. Because the, like, to-go, for example, doesn't even go under expenses. It goes under cost of goods sold. But I haven't used it all yet. So even though it went under cost of goods sold, like, for that month that I bought it, I bought a bulk of it. I didn't buy just enough to go for that month. You buy, like, a case. Does that make sense? So it's worth $120,000, I think. And that would pretty much just put us at what we put into it. But if somebody had that, they would have this beautifully remodeled place with everything they need and not in a great neighborhood. But if they didn't sell organic food like me, if they sold food like every other restaurant, which I will just never do, then they'd be okay if they, like, went the Applebee's route or the McDonald's route or whatever, because that neighborhood is just not going to sustain an organic restaurant. And so, you know, maybe I could just take my stuff with me and relocate too, which is a possibility. But I'd have to have someone take over the lease, which is possible, I suppose, because I remodeled. And it looks a lot better than when I got there. And we fixed a lot of stuff. And I wish I could negotiate with the owner of the building and say, hey, we fixed this. And so, hey, that $1,000 that I owe you, I've put in more than that into your place. You know what I mean? Like, more than that easily. Because it's 15 years old. And, like, literally, just the remodeling was $3,000 or $4,000. And then if you count all this repairs that I had to keep doing, like, if I owe them $1,000, like, they're lucky. Like, honestly, because the last places that were in there, they just came in and, like, didn't fix anything and then left. I came in and, like, fixed everything, which is why I'm broke, by the way, partially why I'm broke, because nothing worked, and I had to keep fixing stuff. Do you feel he was telling you to let go, that the world is passing away and not to hold on? That's kind of, like, what I'm wondering, like, where would I rather be? Would I rather be on a sinking ship with a narcissist, or would I rather be in this reality, like, because the world is, you know, I mean, Dr. Oz is promoting microchips now, okay, literally, and then, like, California has these mandated vaccines, and now Florida's trying to do the same thing, and I'm getting one last chunk of inheritance, and I've been wishing that it would go to this cafe. But now I don't even think I want it to go to the cafe. I think I need to, like, buy that little plot of land and get away. Don't market as organic or natural. It'll make you come off a crazy lefty, which most of Texas is. Market as a health thing instead. You'll get more customers. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. Which I'm not lefty at all. That's the funny thing. But yeah, I did have lefty people come in and eat. And then I had one lefty person that I hired, and they quit after 2 days. I think she realized that I was concerned. I don't know why she quit anyway. Yeah, it does seem lefty. But I mean, like, Alex Jones is all against GMOs, and he's ultra whatever. You know what I mean? So, but people don't understand, like, at all. So, like, I have one cook who's the sweetest person ever, but she thought a grass-fed burger was a veggie burger because she literally didn't know that cows are supposed to eat grass, or that there was such a thing as grass-fed beef. And so she, like, cooked up a veggie burger for somebody, and I was like, and I had already said it like 3 times, and I'm like, okay, repeat after me. Grass-fed burgers are beef. Like, so that's kind of the challenge. Killeen is not the place for this. That part of town is not the place for this. If I was in Austin, it would do really well, but I don't even like Austin. That's the funny thing, because I'm not lefty. Health, huh? But the thing about health is, like, I'm not vegan, vegetarian. I have those options. I have stuff that's paleo, you know, gluten-free or whatever. But, I don't know. There's another organic restaurant in town run by a Muslim family, actually, or a Muslim woman. I don't know. Supposedly her husband's not Muslim. I don't understand. But point being, they're organic, and they're obviously conservative, too, and not lefty. But, yeah, I shouldn't run away to the mountains. But, like, my stepdad worked so hard his whole life, and this last little bit of money, if I just throw it onto a sinking ship, like I thought maybe my parents would be proud because he had celiac, and my mom died of cancer, and that's where a lot of this came from. And it's the last bit of money that he earned for me. Like, my biological father's still alive, and he even loaned me the money for my beer and wine license, which hasn't even come in yet. And I'm sitting here thinking about closing the doors. But then again, like, if I was truly following Torah, I would have never borrowed money to begin with. So how am I supposed to expect the Creator to, like, bless this business when I borrowed money to begin with? You know what I mean? But it never would happen otherwise. So maybe it shouldn't have happened. I don't know. But I just thought, like, I prayed this one night. I was like, Father, it's your will. And then the next day, like, I found this money and got it. And then I bought it. You know what I mean? With the cash. And then I borrowed more and more and more and more and kept it going and kept thinking, yeah, I'll hit that 500 a day. I'll hit that 500 a day. And I might eventually, but I just don't know. Like, I keep thinking if I can just make it 2 more months, but I don't know. So I'm just going to see what happens. I'm literally probably going to give my staff a week off and be like, next week, and go and work in the kitchen and hopefully not get dehydrated like I did this one day when I worked 13 hours. I got really dehydrated. But give my staff off and at least just, like, stay open and sell the food. Yeah, it is selling my future, and that's why it's like, we're going to talk to a lawyer. I know there's ways to not necessarily, like, you can either refinance it and pay longer, or you can negotiate it, which I hate that because I want to pay what I owe. But I could sell, like, the assets that I have, I should be able to sell, and I should be able to pay off, like, the espresso machine they can take back, number one. Like, the credit cards, I should be able to negotiate down. Or really, essentially, I should be able to sell the stuff that I bought with the credit cards. It's not like I was, like, getting my nails done. I bought, like, a merchandising freezer, a merchandising fridge, a chest freezer, like, Vitamix, meat, like, slicer. I mean, I just bought kitchen stuff, to-go items, all this stuff that I should be able to sell to pay off the credit cards if somebody comes in and wants, like, a ready working restaurant. So, but if I keep the restaurant going, I can't sell that because that stuff will sustain me for, like, a year. Like, just the to-go items. The freezers and stuff could sustain me for years, plural. So I don't know. I just have to stay open for 2 months to make it, but my battery's low, so I probably need to go, and I've been rambling for half an hour. Thank you for joining and commenting. That was kind of nice. And this little angel, like, it really helped me just to snuggle her and her reaction. Yeah, I need to keep praying. And that dream was an answered prayer, and maybe I'll get a part 2 for that dream. I think that's what I need, is a part 2 to see what happens after I go in. Maybe I'll make an amazing rescue and, like, get all these people out of the ship. But I don't know. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with the Bible study is go in, do the Bible study tomorrow night, and maybe somehow that'll help things turn around, because I should have done it before. Like, I should have done it, like, 3-4 months ago. But I was just worried about what people would think. So, which one is the parable of the talents? Is that the 3 guys with the seeds? Because that's what I was thinking about the whole time I opened it. Is that the one, or is that the one about the wages? Is that the one where there's 3 people and they have seeds, and, like, one guy buries them and one guy sells them and then one guy plants them? Is that parable? Because that is the parable that I was literally thinking of. Okay, when I opened this restaurant, like, because my dad's, like, my stepdad's money, like, the first chunk I got, I paid student loans, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just gave all my inheritance to the federal government. Then I got another chunk and I went to Nashville with it, like $5,000 or whatever. And that was like a waste. I was like, oh, I'm planting seeds. Pfft, it was a waste. And then I thought it was all gone. And then I found out this restaurant was, like, available for sale, and it was already built out, and I could just buy, it was like he wanted $40,000. I talked him down to 30, but just the vent hood alone is worth $30,000. And I got tables and chairs and just all this stuff, deep fryer and all this stuff. Just a bunch of stuff. And
being that I knew nothing and I wasn't a construction worker, it was a really good deal, because if I just went to like an empty commercial space, it would have been way more per square foot rent, and I would have had to build, and I'm not a builder, obviously. And so that was when I thought all my inheritance was gone. And that's when I was like, okay, Father, it's your will. And then the next day, like 12 grand was like there. And I was able to buy this place from this guy. And so I thought, okay, that parable. Like, I wanted to do something with my inheritance. I wanted to plant it. I wanted to plant a future. That is what I wanted to do. But then, like, I have these self-conscious things because I'm a woman. And, like, am I even supposed to engage in business at all? Which I guess, there's Proverbs 31, but maybe I'm just a horrible business person, because ultimately money is not my desire. Like, ultimately, I want to make a difference. I want to help people, but you can't force people to be helped. You know what I'm saying? You cannot force them. And like, you mean the United States? That's kind of how I'm feeling in these moments of hopelessness. Like, are you talking about in Killeen? I don't know. The point is, like, Killeen, the United States, the world, like, that's how I feel. And I'm in the middle of it. Yeah. And I don't know, this whole September 23rd thing, whatever, I don't know. I think, if anything, you got to prepare for the anti-Messiah first. But I think that the world is really hitting the fan. It is. So maybe it's time to get out. So I don't know. I'm going to pray for a part 2, because really you need 2 or 3 for confirmation. But it was a very vivid dream, and I'm going to keep going. Yeah, and I'm in the middle of the darkness. But see, we have to shine light on the darkness to make it go away, and that's what I wanted to do. So whatever happens, it's His will. This is what I've decided. It's His will. And if the light is in me, it'll come out at the very least tomorrow night, when I've already picked, we're going to do the triennial cycle. I like that better, because then you don't just read Torah for an hour. You read Torah and prophets, and you know what I'm saying, and then I want to have them focus on some Messiah's words too, because they get forgotten in a lot of these Torah studies. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I'm excited about it, but it's like so sad, because I don't know if I'll ever be able to do another one, and I feel like I wasted a chance, because like, if anything, I need to be there on a Friday night, right in the middle of the zombies, going, "What's up, y'all? Let's study some scripture." Like, really push some buttons. So I'm at least going to do it tomorrow night, y'all. Anyways, I got to go. It was nice chatting with you, Mr. Causey. Yeah, I hope I get an answer too. Obviously, I'm going to vlog again. Y'all have a great night, and thanks for joining. Bye.